Welcome to Xbox International Airlines. We are in flight number 39. And guys, oh man, it's gonna be one crazy hectic ride. So fasten your seatbelts and let's enjoy this awesome show. So, introducing first, the man with the coolest intro theme, which goes like this. Also, our hashtag insider, Mr. Pooh Network. How are you doing today, sir? And thank you for joining us tonight as an awesome guest.
I'm doing great. You did a lot better on singing the song this time than last time. So I think you did it last time. This time you actually got all the notes. So I'm doing great, Sam. I'm happy to be here. Lots to talk about. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff off the air, so we got a lot of opinions to go over.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, sir. What?
He sounded like those like Cartoon Networks like kind of cartoons when they're like singing with the with all the instruments.
Yeah, and sad news, guys. Oh, we got an echo though. It says we got an echo.
Echo.
Echo. Where's the echo from? While you go and fix the echo sound, we got some bad news on Cartoon Network. They are shutting it down. That is so sad.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that.
Maybe the desktop.
Oh, maybe that was why. Okay, they should.
It's Sordon from Power Rangers, not Soran.
Okay, I think we should be out of echo. Let us know, please.
Let us know. Are we out of echo? Or is it Sordon echo? Power Rangers. I am Crazy Louie. Crazy Sordon.
Oh, we got a discussion on the chat. Switch is number 1. Xbox is number 1.
Right. What's up, this is Max. Hello. But anyways, now introduce our brother.
Oh, you have an echo. Yeah, it's you.
Alright, Sour, introduce yourself. How do you fix the echo though?
Oh. So I don't get no nice introduction? Okay.
No, you do, yeah. Let me pull back. Is it better now, Dirk?
Well, it's gonna take a little bit to respond, but
right.
hi everyone.
Let me introduce my brother Sourblow, even though I don't know how to fix the echo, but I just stay away from the microphone. But let me introduce first. Let me introduce now the man who misses a lot, just like his team, the Boston Celtics, did in the last playoffs. The man who has now started his own AEW channel, which is gonna be pretty cool, pretty fun, and I'll be doing some amazing promos over there. And I'll be known as the Crazy Louie Wrestler. Man, I always wanted to be a wrestler all my life. You know that, Sourblow, right? I want to be like Mick Foley back in the day. I'm not kidding you. Sourblow, brother, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I believe you're crazy. I believe you on you wanted to be the next Mick Foley, but I'm doing great. The channel is actually, it's not gonna be only AEW. Well, it depends, but it's focused on role playing wrestling. That's the name, and we're gonna play around with the AEW video game when it comes out. And also, I'm just going to give predictions and booking and stuff like that. Play around with wrestling. I just love wrestling. And basically, yeah, that's it. Now, let's introduce the crazy one.
Yeah.
Crazy. Actually, I'm not going to be too harsh on you today.
You can. I give you permission. You can.
The crazy one, the one that gives us good morning video every morning. He's there active, and he's the heart and soul of XBI. We truly appreciate him, even though sometimes I want to strangle him, but
yeah.
But
that was really nice.
But we do love crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I was checking my sound. I don't know if it's corrected. Dark, can you check that out? But anyways, brother, I mean, how am I doing today? I'm gonna tell you something though. I am doing pretty freaking fantastic. Hey.
You just had your eyes on Twitter. Now you have the whole face.
Yes, I do.
He was teasing us.
What do you think, though, huh? I should have been a movie star, huh? I could take a Heath Ledger's face, right?
It looks pretty good. I'm pretty terrified right now.
Yeah, it does, huh? Wait, what do you mean is that ICP, man? What's up with you, man? Hell no, not ICP.
Now, guys, we accomplished something that other studios couldn't accomplish. We got the Joker at 60 FPS here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding, guys.
Oh man, Sourblow, man, I'm pretty cool, man. I'm really happy to be on this episode, Mr. Plume. Thank you for joining us this week. And I don't know if we got echo still. Sour, we gotta check that sound, buddy. Hello, Mr. Dutch. How are you doing, sir? We gotta check out that sound.
Why do we got echo?
Let me lower my volume. But guys, if you guys hear us echoing, please make sure, because I did check my sound and microphone is working just perfectly fine. Everything's working good on my side. If not, Sarah, maybe I have to turn off a microphone or not.
Hold on, let me see something.
Check something.
Okay, let me close this.
Should I dance while we wait, or?
Can you
I'm just kidding. I can't dance. You gotta do it, Louis.
Crazy. Go ahead. You do it. You do the clown dance. Why is it? Okay, let me see something. Okay, is the echo still on?
I think it's only Louis' mic that echoes.
Is it my microphone that echoes?
Yeah, come on, Louis.
Alright, am I good? Am I good now? Am I good, guys? Am I good?
Let's see.
I guess I am, though. But anyway, Sourblow, I've been doing good. I just did a happy dance right there, and it really was bad, but... I catch my breath. But I'm doing good, brother. So, guys, what have you been playing? I mean, it's been one crazy week. I mean, we have Score on the way, and I know all of us play Score. We also got a Plague still right there. But, yeah, I would like to know, what have you all been playing? So, let's start with you, Mr. Boone. What have you been playing, sir?
I've kind of gone back into my backlog for some reason, and I've been playing old, like, Xbox One games that I haven't gotten to. I finished off Assassin's Creed 2, which I've played before, but I want to play through it again. And then I also finished off a game called Bulletstorm, which is kind of like a fast-paced first-person shooter made by People Can Fly, and it literally reminds me of like a first-person Gears of War style game, which they've made Gears of War Judgment, so that makes sense. And then I started A Plague's Tale Requiem. Those are 3 main games I've played throughout the last week or so.
Nice.
Got YouTube on loud in the background. Who's got YouTube on loud?
YouTube. Is it you, Crazy?
No, I don't have any YouTube on. I have to... Hold on, let me just check if it's... Guys, is it better now? Checking my...
Is it me?
Is it you, Plume?
Hello. Is he in a cave? Who's in a cave?
Me in a cave. Man.
Got YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Alright.
This is kind of weird. Both Plume and Lou have echoes.
How do you fix the echoes? Man, oh man. Should I unplug my microphone or something? Let me unplug my microphone real quick.
Yeah, let's try that. Let me try that too on my end.
Okay, let me try.
Okay, I disconnected the audio.
Let me check my audios. Devices. Oh man. Technical issues, this stuff happens, guys. We are sorry.
Sorry.
Alright, am I sounding better? Sorry, check real quick.
Well, I can't check. If I check, it's gonna sound. Let's see if...
Water, we're still good. I've been playing Xenoblade 3, okay.
something with me?
How is the audio now?
How is the audio now?
Hello.
Hello. You know, ever since I put on this costume, everything's just been a little bit crazy, huh?
I think it's the FPS. It can't handle
It's the
it.
FPS, yeah, it can handle Joker Louis at 60 FPS. I know it can.
We might have to bring it down to 30.
We gotta bring it down to 30. But anyways,
Still echo from
Still echo
Bloom
from
and
Bloom
Crazy.
and Crazy.
Sour, you sound good. Okay, let me do something.
Alright.
Hold on.
Weird.
Hey, I'm gonna leave Discord and see if that fixes it, and I'll come back in.
Okay, go for it. Sour, why don't you tell everybody what you've been playing since we try to fix the echoes? Oh, we're big headed. I can see my ball spot.
Alright.
Sour, we are divided and conquer. What are we gonna do? We gotta put this together.
What you been playing, Crazy? Can you talk a little bit about that while I fix this?
I play Scorn. I've been playing Cyberpunk. Oh man, that Cyberpunk has been a lot of fun, man. I haven't had so much fun in the game in a while.
It's still Zach, still Echo.
Still Echo. It's Joker Louis. Oh man. All right.
It's you. You hop off, Crazy then.
All right. Boom, hop in. Take my place.
We're rotating.
We are rotating. Okay, I'm out, guys. Hold on, where is Discord? Discord. There you go. Found it. Give me a second, guys. Okay, be right back, guys.
Okay. So, did you play a lot of Plague Style?
I haven't. I've only played through the first.
Okay, me too.
I want to see how it looked on.
I played the first chapter and a bit of the second one.
Yeah, it started a bit of the second one too.
Okay.
Any difference there?
How's there? Is there still echo?
Hello.
Testing.
Testing.
I feel like it sounds a bit. Could be wrong.
I think it does sound better because it will sound okay. Yes, Dark said. Oh no, still echo. Oh man. Okay. I guess. Can I hop off?
Test.
Let me see.
Test.
Okay, let me do this. I'll make the call again. Or I'll join it. Okay, I should be back now.
Alright. Is it you, Sour?
Okay, if it doesn't work now, then...
Is it working perfectly fine? Hello! Talos, the man with the ray!
Let me get on and fix this.
Go for it, Dark. Come fix this, because seriously, we've been at this for 10 minutes. We need help. Help from the
okay, is there still echo?
Is it still echo, guys?
Echo, Lima.
Hold on, let me check something real quick. Let me put myself on mute. Okay. Start talking, guys, when I put myself on mute.
All right. We're talking.
Place
Xbox has lots of games.
Do they? I don't know. Like
lots and lots of games coming nonstop into Xbox Game Pass.
I turn on my potato and I just look at it. There's nothing.
I have two potatoes, Series S and the PS5.
I got two potatoes, and right now I got three because my boss actually gave me his potato because he wanted me to put games, but I don't know how to tell him that you can't put games on it on the potato.
Plume, you got a big echo, Plume.
Oh, Plume.
I have an echo too.
How about me?
I have an echo too.
It has to. I think it's got to be, if we both have an echo, it's got to be the source of where the stream's coming from. I could think.
Yeah.
No, somebody's. Check if you have your microphone on, not your audio. Your audio, Plume. You gotta have your audio on your speaker audio.
Oh, check your
No, there's
your
nothing going
settings
on here.
No.
No, because I can when Sour talk, I can hear him through your things. Oh, I can hear myself on echo too. Sour, you gotta check.
Okay, talk. I'm gonna mute my mic, crazy, and then talk. Okay, talk. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, I'm still echoing too, Sour.
Okay, let's see.
We sound like Jim Beer in the cave, though. Yep, Jim Ryan cave.
Because when I left the chat, it was still echoing too.
No, it's not that.
No, it's better. It's better now. It got better. It got better.
I ain't did anything.
Yeah, we're back. We're good. We're good. We're good. We got it better. We got it better. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sour. It's time for a flight itinerary. Let's start doing it, baby.
All right, we're going to.
Yes, we're going flying now. Woo.
Oh, hold on, mister. Because I was not ready. I closed down a few things and I was not ready at all. But you didn't tell didn't tell us what you were playing, crazy. Can you tell us?
Yeah, I did. I said I was playing Scorn. I played a lot of Cyberpunk. I had a lot of fun with Cyberpunk. Such a fun game. I did say.
Oh, okay.
Did you tell everybody what you were playing?
Not really. But I did tell him I did play Plague Style, and then The Witcher, of course. I've still been at it with The Witcher. Okay, now flight itinerary. We're gonna talk a little bit about Silent Hill, which we just got that information in. And we're gonna talk a lot about October games. We're gonna try to talk about the October game. Maybe we might. Well, we are gonna, of course, talk about the CMA again, but we're gonna try to talk briefly about that and try to cover more other things because we've been at it weeks after weeks. Kind of giving like different type of content. If it's okay with the chat, we want to talk more CMA, I'm definitely down to talk about it. Crazy, where you went? Oh, I forgot. Crazy, can you come back with the in-flight announcement? Oh Lord.
Yes, we can start with the in-flight announcement. Let's go. Right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sour has turned on the subscribe button sign. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please store your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath the seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. And also make sure your seat is set back and you have hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, saying that the Boston Celtics are going to win this year is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you. Back to you, Sourblow.
All right, and that is not prohibited, okay? But anyway, let's move on and let's talk a little bit about. Let's talk about the quick news. Let's jump into the quick news. I'm sorry, I got lost there a little bit, and we're gonna jump into some October update because we are in October, and Xbox just got some nice updates. We got that. You can change the volume of your TV from the console directly from the control. That's kind of cool. The most important feature, you can mute your startup audio. That's pretty important right there. Select or change your home Xbox. Changes to the Xbox Power Mode names. We also got information that Xbox is looking to make a mobile app in which it's basically for their mobile games. I believe this was part of the CMA crazy, or was it just a rumor?
could be part of the
I think it was
CMA.
part of
It
the
was it
CMA.
was part of the CMA that they had in their documents.
They had in the document, which
Yeah.
yeah, because the reason why I think it was the CMA because I saw a list of several games that were from Activision Blizzard. So I guess if the deal doesn't go through, that kind of hinders their plans there. Um, we also
Yeah.
got news from Halo Infinite, which we got a winter update, which brings 4-player campaign network co-op, mission replay, match XP, new achievement with free 30-tier battle pass. We got new maps and new events. And from Valve, they've registered a trademark of Neon Prime, which it could be anything. It could be a game. Could it be a new console? Who knows? Um, but it's interesting that Valve's is finally at something. Hopefully at a game, and hopefully it doesn't stop at number 2 because they seem not to reach number 3 somehow.
Wait, you said 4 players, isn't it 3 players? Co-op?
For 4-player campaign network co-op for Halo.
Okay.
But network. No, it's 4. It's just that unfortunately, no couch co-op. But
so does this mean we're gonna get a new campaign, or are we gonna play 4-player campaign, the same campaign?
well, according from what I think I know, it's the same campaign. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Same, maybe we'll get a new one in the future, but this one's the same.
Yeah, which
sure.
which I think it's a miss.
Well, and also it took them an entire year to add mission replay for the same campaign, which is actually crazy. But
it's crazy. Yeah.
I guess we'll get into that.
Well, actually, this is perfect time if you want to give your take on that real quick before we.
Yeah, no, the update that's coming out that they told us about is something they already knew about this, right? It was the November 8th update. Campaign network co-op, that's cool, I guess, but taking away couch co-op is a big miss for a lot of people, including myself. I mean, we see a mod where campaign or couch co-op was working perfectly fine, and they just kind of decided to scrap it. And like I said, finally getting a chapter replay or whatever, a mission replay a year after the launch. I'm happy about it because we're getting it, but like I would have loved to have that before for like achievements and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, it's a little bit better. I mean, people are saying it's kind of like the real launch of Halo Infinite because there's a lot more stuff coming to it. But I think the last year has soured a little bit of the people's thoughts on Halo Infinite going forward. So hopefully this will bring some gamers back to it. But yeah, I'm not that excited. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
How about you, Crazy? Are you excited?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. They should have put a new campaign or something in it, just to make us happy. But no.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like they can just they got a magic wand and be like, okay, here you got,
That's true.
But,
I get you that point. But yeah,
it does hurt.
Yeah, it does hurt. I mean, it's been a year already since it's released, and I was waiting, for more campaign news that like they add something new. But okay, I'll give them one more chance. Just one little chance. But after that, I'm gonna start ranting on them. I'm gonna go get really mad at them because they gotta start fixing that game.
The one thing I want to add to this is that I think last time I was on here, we had a discussion about Halo Infinite, and we kind of had the same opinions on it. And then after that, I went and I played Halo Infinite for the next like 2 weeks, and like honestly, the content is what's the problem. But man, the gameplay when you get playing, it's so good, and that's why I think it's so disappointing for so many people that they're dropping the ball right now on the content because this could easily be the best Halo ever if they did the live service thing properly.
100%. Like every time I go in, like I continue to play it. Like every time my friends invite me, every time I go in, I have a blast, and it feels amazing. It feels like the best Halo.
Yeah, it does actually. I mean, the way it plays, the way it moves, the way everything. I mean, it's a really fun game, especially when you're playing with friends and family and stuff like that. You get to enjoy it a lot. But the problem is that, for example, if you go on big player campaign or any multiplayer, you gotta have all the modes are selected for you. Like I can't like leave just Slayer just to play Slayer.
Yeah.
I have to play all 3 or 4 modes, which is annoying. The capture the flag is okay to play 1 or 2 times, but that seed thing is, for me, that thing is just, if they can take it off for like a few months, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, it's a fun game. It's still a fun game, and yeah, I just hope they add new maps too to make it more entertaining. Because, okay, we just got a few new maps in, and people get tired
Yeah.
of that too. But let's
I
see what
think I
happens.
think the map is even a bigger
Yeah,
issue. But yeah.
Yeah, especially the pit remake that they're adding in. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like as soon as Forge is there, well, the Forge beta's coming, you're gonna have in like the first week somebody making a better version of the pit, and they're just gonna get shit on for that.
Yep.
But I like the saying though. They're like, winter is coming. Like, yeah, doesn't it feel like Sourblow, your favorite TV show, huh? Yeah.
Not
Is
really
that
my favorite TV series. It's
that's
one.
not
It's
that's
one of
not
my favorites, I can say. But yeah.
is that your favorite TV show? Because you talk about like it's your favorite TV show.
No, no, I did not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because you were telling me you gotta watch it because I told you I saw the ending, but anyways, let's keep on going, Sour, because we're not gonna get into that argument. We'll get it tomorrow.
Okay.
Later
Well,
on in the show.
anyway. Anyway, Xbox Cloud Gaming. They want to reach more devices, and they have an update which now there will be available on PCs that will be running ARM64, and that would include their new Surface devices. We also got that xCloud is also coming to the MetaQ Quest store, and let me see, in the future, and will be available to play Game Pass on the virtual 2D screen. So we see that Xbox continue to expand, and they want to bring to life their basically their play anywhere. um, do you see this coming more and more into fruition, and do you think that what other devices will you see them, would you like them to come to, Plume?
I think honestly, right now they're pretty much on everything that I would want them to come to. I mean, they're on handheld, they're in your browser, so and your browser could literally be on anything.
Mhm.
Your phone. Now they're getting into VR, which is pretty cool. I don't. I guess it's just a big 2D screen in front of you, so you're playing on like what, like a 100-inch big screen TV or something with the VR headset. But I think like literally wherever Game Pass will be accepted, they should expand out to, because obviously that supports what they're trying to do, supports their goals, and why not, right? It's a great service. So
Okay, Crazy, how about you? If you had to choose between xCloud and Game Pass coming to PlayStation or Nintendo Switch, what would be your choice? You only could choose one.
Why do you gotta ask me that question?
Because I gotta ask the Joker the hard questions, the villainous
The,
question.
the villainous question. What would you choose to go on PlayStation? Of course, Game Pass. I would choose Game Pass to
No,
go on
no, no.
PlayStation.
Oh, okay, okay. But the question was, what device was it? PlayStation 5 or Nintendo Switch? You're making me get
Oh,
confused.
oh, okay. No, no. I'll be honest with you. Okay, easy. They made it easy for PlayStation, since it's a home console. Put Game Pass on there. Now for Switch, since it's a mobile console, of course we would put the X Cloud on there. Yeah, just to get people
But
mobile, baby.
okay. All right, you kind of
so the
lost me
answer is
there.
both.
So yeah, he cut.
Oh, what? Oh, the question
It's
was
one
to pick one.
yeah, to pick one
Oh, okay.
one
Well, I pick
device.
both then. I
Then
pick
it
both.
no, 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 get out of here. Can you go ahead and shout out the chat? The chat's been awesome. We have been having so many like technical issues, and they're still
Yes.
here.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's shout out the chat. Let us start first con mi hermano Olivo. Olivo. ¿Qué lo que es, mi hermano Olivo? It's Timmy. What's up, Timmy? Hello, hello, John Wolf. How are you doing, sir? Wandering Dutch. Hello, hello, sir. How are you doing, sir? Victor Click, mi hermana República Dominicana. Vic. Yo, your video is up with the state. Oh, with this, I was gonna say stated with the Steam Deck, buddy. Man, you gotta see that video. I sent you a lot of thank yous for that, brother, and thank you so much for letting me borrow it and do the video, bro. Really, thank you. Let's keep on going down the list. Hello, Robin. How are you doing, sir? Let me keep on going. Who else was here? I already said hello to Talos, the man with the ray. Yes, sir. Did I say hello to Robin? Yes, I did. Hello to Robin. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. Keep on going down. Oh. I love that name. Stop. Oh yeah. What's up, Stop? Oh yeah. How are you doing, sir? Hello, Umbra. How are you doing, my brother, Umbra? Hope you're doing awesome. KJ 2022. Hello, sir. Sourblow, take it away.
All right, let's continue,
Yes,
and
sir.
let's continue with one of my favorite studios, if not probably my favorite. You know, to me, one of the best acquisitions that Xbox did, Obsidian, which, they had a very interesting quote about a franchise that's very beloved, which is the Fallout franchise. And the quote is, I'm going to read it, is, well, they were asked if, they would be interested in jumping in the Fallout franchise again. And they said, of course, if we ever got the opportunity to make another Fallout game, we make it. There's not even a question or whether or not we would do it. It's just, will the opportunity arise? And I guess, the answer, the answer to that question, which was from Obsidian's founder, was because I believe Todd Howard had a statement saying that when he was asked before about the Fallout, he said that that's something that it's behold to Bethesda, and that's something that they would not basically lend out. So maybe he's like, if the opportunity arises, we will be willing to make this game. Now, let's start with you, Plume. I don't know if you played Fallout New Vegas, which was the one that, of course, Obsidian was heavily, heavily had its footprints in. Would you like Obsidian to tackle this Fallout franchise? And what do you think Bethesda should do? So should Bethesda just give them the main Fallout franchise, or should they go on the track of maybe a New Vegas 2, or maybe a Fallout, I don't know, another city, go that route?
Yeah, no, I think. Well, first of all, we have to get Avowed out. So once that's done, I think honestly their next project would be a no-brainer to be a Fallout New Vegas too. Everybody wants it. I mean, Bethesda is now a part of Xbox Game Studios, which wasn't there, I'm guessing, before they started working on Avowed. So they didn't really have that option. But I mean, they're all part of the same company now. So I think honestly, it's an absolute no-brainer to go into that. And even like a remaster of the first Fallout New Vegas would be great, because I jumped back into it, I want to say a couple months ago or so, just to like see if it aged well in terms of gameplay, and I found it pretty hard to play. And I feel like they did like some sort of remaster of it, and maybe even added in with like a release of Fallout New Vegas 2 as an additional piece or whatever. I think it would be really, really cool. So yeah, definitely, I think they work together on their next title.
What about you, Crazy? Like, what do you think about this? Should Obsidian just forget about the Fallout franchise and focus on their own IPs, or would you like them to take back and take another swing at this franchise, this beloved franchise?
I think they should take another swing of this beloved franchise because I mean I gotta tell you something. I've never played Fallout Vegas though. That's the truth though. I never played it. But a lot of people really loved it and it's a really talked about game. So yes, I think they should take another swing at it. Why not? Since they did it really well. Of course. They should, man. They should. I agree with that. All the way. And they are a pretty good studio, but wait, before they grab that though, they gotta finish Avowed though, because I want to play that game. That game looks freaking awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I just gotta add that it's amazing the work that Obsidian has been doing lately. Like, they finally are done with Grounded, which to me is an amazing game, very underrated to a lot of people. Then you have Pentiment. It's coming next month,
Yeah,
and
pretty excited for that one.
yeah, pretty excited for that. And then we have Avow, which unfortunately for them, there was a leak image, but most of the time, these leak images, it does hurt, you know, the developers and the studios. But I don't think this leak at all kind of hurt them. I think on the contrary, because the picture itself to me looks amazing, and we already know what Obsidian could, you know, what work they can do. So I don't know if you both agree with me. If you both seen the
Yeah,
leak picture.
I saw the picture, and it's an old picture too. I believe
Yeah.
Jez Corden on Twitter confirmed that that's an old build of a picture, and it looks pretty amazing. So can't even imagine what it's going to look like when it comes out. But I mean, I agree with you completely with Obsidian. They're like wizards right now at Xbox Game Studios. They're putting out like all of the games, Grounded,
Oh,
Pentiment, Avowed. They just keep releasing games and all different, unique
Yeah.
style of games, which to me you don't see that from too many studios where every game they release is completely different. So I think they
Yeah.
got to really like
Yeah.
get everything out of Obsidian because they're doing great
They're doing
work.
great. And let's
that
not let's
grounded
not
game.
forget that they got purchased, and yes, they were probably in the middle of it. But they released Outer World, or
Yeah,
or or was it in the same time? But let's say it was before the purchase. But after that, they have done DLCs, and we got Outer World 2, which they're
yeah,
also
that's another one.
making.
Yeah,
So
The purchase, the Outer
yes.
World came out after the purchase, though. Yeah, it did.
Okay,
It did.
so they
Yeah.
were probably finishing that. So they're pretty busy there. So hats off to them. I hope
Yeah,
they
they've
continue
been
that.
doing an awesome
Yeah.
job. I mean, look at that grounded game, and how much fun we have every time we sit down and
Oh
play it. I mean,
yes.
seriously, that cave part. Let's say, Dark said, "Watch for the spider." Oh man, we ran, and then the spider just came out
Oh
of
man.
nowhere. Like, damn it!
It was amazing. Um okay, for the next two topics, since we did lost some time because unfortunately,
Yeah.
technical issues. What I'm gonna do
Alright.
is I'm gonna split them, and I'm gonna start with Sonic Frontier, and I'm gonna ask you, Plume, what do you think about the whole combat system, and what did you think about the upgrades? What did you think about the game so far?
I'm pretty excited for Sonic Frontiers. I tweeted out the other day that it's my most anticipated game right now, and I don't. I'm
Oh, really?
serious, but like it may not actually be. I was just doing it in the
Oh,
moment,
okay, okay.
but but I am really excited for the game. I think the combat system, the skill tree, the open world that they've shown off looks very fun. My only thing is, I find like with Sonic, it's always up in the air when they release a new game if you're going to be disappointed or not. If it's going to be mediocre, you always kind of get hyped and then they kind of crush your hopes. So I'm hoping it's not the same with Sonic Frontiers, but yeah, that's a game that comes out day before God of War Ragnarok too. So
Yeah. So
gonna be contending hard with it, but I think I'm gonna be playing Sonic first, to be honest.
yeah, it's amazing that they have this much faith to leave it there. But then again, it's different audience, I guess. Now speaking of different audience, and we have a villain here. We have a Dead Space remake gameplay, which they showed 10 minutes, and it was pretty impressive. What do you think about this crazy? I know you're a huge fan of the Dead Space franchise.
Oh man, what do I think about it? I'm gonna tell you something. I watched a little bit of the gameplay, and man, it looks fantastic. I mean, the upgrade and everything, it looks great. It looks great. But am I excited to play it? A little bit, not that much excited. No, I'm much more hyped about Callisto Protocol. That's something I'm really hyped about. But yes, I love the way that new Dead Space, the remake it looks. I mean, the detail on the armor, the detail on the monsters, everything is just
Yeah,
bellissimo. How we say here, precioso. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
it looks good, and it's
Yeah.
great that they're putting this much work to in the case of Dead Space, that they're putting this much work to a remake. And it's funny because, like, isn't this game coming out 2023? What's the date? Is it March?
I think it's no, it's in January. I think it is. They're
Oh,
releasing it
it's
in
in Oh, yeah,
January.
yeah,
Yeah,
January.
January
And
2023.
then
Yeah,
Calypso is coming December if it doesn't get
December
delayed,
2nd. But it did not say
which
the
is
year, though.
which
It did
is
not say the year.
no,
It
2022. What do you mean?
No,
did not say
December
the year.
I think it said December. I think it said December 2nd, 2022.
Yeah,
No,
it did. It did. Crazy.
their
Jo-
last post, they said it was December 2nd. That's it. It did not say 2022.
Crazy. Okay.
I'm just messing y'all. Just messing you.
All right, crazy.
uh,
Well, speaking of messing around and stuff, we've been teased forever about this supposedly Silent Hill, and every showcase, every event, we're gonna see Silent Hill. We finally got the confirmation on Twitter and with a post directly that we were gonna get not only Silent Hill, but we were gonna get an actual event, and which if you were able to see it was actually at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and boy, did they show a lot of Silent Hill. I'm gonna go over everything they showed real quick, and then we can talk about this whole Silent Hill, because there's a lot of there's a lot to talk about. We got the Return to Silent Hill, which is a film adaptation. We got Silent Hill Ascension, which introduces a new interactive video streaming experience for the series. We got Silent Hill Townfall, which is a co-production with Annapurna Interactive, the creators of Stray, and No Code Studio, which they are the creator of Observation and Story Untold. We also got Silent Hill 2. Is that remake, right?
Yep.
Remake, right? From
Yep.
Bluebird team, which are the creator of the Blair Witch game and The Medium. And then finally, we got also Silent Hill F, or I don't know if that F meant something. If it was a symbol or something, but it will.
It means freaky because it has dolls in it. So yeah, it's gonna be super freaky.
Well, it will be a completely new story set in 1960 Japan, featuring a beautiful yet horrifying world, written by Ryo Kishi07. Sorry if I butcher your name. He's famed for Japanese visual novels dealing with murder, mystery, psychology, and supernatural horror. Now,
Kishi's gonna come after you.
now let's go directly with you, Crazy. Out of all these projects, what was the one that caught your attention the most? Which one are you more interested
I'll be honest with you, and I'll be straightforward about this. I'm being serious. I'm just freaking happy. We finally got some Silent Hill news. I was tired of all those damn rumors. Holy crap. I mean, every single week we always had a rumor about Silent Hill, Silent Hill, Silent Hill. Ooh, abandoned was Silent Hill. What happened with abandoned though? Did abandoned actually get abandoned?
It's probably a scam.
It's probably
that's a scam.
But anyways, let's not laugh about that because we want the game to come out. So please, abandon, please come out. But anyways, there was every single week of rumor or every single month of rumor about Silent Hill. I'm actually really happy that they actually showed something about Silent Hill and Bloomberg working on it. Man, I hope they put their heart and guts into it. And I hope they actually grabbed it and just did an excellent job because I mean, what we saw on the trailer, it looks fantastic. It looks beautiful. And you said at Sourblow you played Meat and you had a lot of fun with it. I played Blair Witch. I got pretty far on it, but I just did not feel the fear in it with Blair Witch. I didn't get as scared.
Well, I played some of Blair Witch. I don't think it was really meant to like scare you. It's more like The Medium. The Medium wasn't also like a real like horror. It was more like a psychological thriller. It's not a full blown horror game.
We didn't get that cool camera scene when we were seeing like everybody like hello, like oh my god, we were so scared. We didn't get that from the Blair Witch movie, but yeah, I mean from the Blair Witch game. But yeah, it would have been perfect. But either way, though, those guys, are doing a pretty good job, and I'm really happy the way it looks. And hey, that Silent Hill F, wow, that's gonna be a freaking awesome, especially since it's got a lot of Japanese stuff in it, and it's kind of like it's gonna compete, I think, and it looks like it's gonna compete against Fatal Frame. which Fatal Frame is actually a pretty good horror game out of over there, and they have done an excellent job with the horror side of things with Fatal Frame. So yeah, the Silent Hill F with the dolls and stuff. I just watched the show. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And they also mentioned there were going to be a movie, right?
Yes, movie adaptation, which
Did
that
they show
one
a little bit of the trailer? Because I mean, I got
Return
home
to
and it was
Silent Hill.
it just said Return to Silent Hill, nothing else.
Yeah, that's the name of the adaptation, film adaptation.
Because I thought because here's the thing though, guys. I came home here and I couldn't sit down and watch a 48-minute showcase, but I did watch a little bit of the gameplay and stuff like that, which I'm really amazed. And I'm actually really happy. Like I said again, I'm super happy that they actually show something. Seriously,
Yeah.
I was annoyed that they
Uh,
kept like saying something
about
without showing
the
anything.
the film adaptation, I don't
Yeah.
got the full details here, but what I can remember is I think the story is about a young man returning to Silent Hill. That's kind of where the story is gonna start to yeah,
Yeah.
evolve. but basically, like Crazy said, I did play the medium from Bloober Team, and I love the medium. I thought it was a great game. Of course, it's a low budget game. It's kind of like a double A indie, or you know maybe not even double A. It feels like an indie game, but it's a great game. It has a good story. I love the pacing of it. I thought it was a pretty good game, and I'm super happy for Bloober Team that they're giving them this franchise that a lot of people have been wanting wanted to come back, and I feel like this is gonna give them a chance to keep making a name for themselves. And I think they have shown evolutions in their game, because every time I have tried a Bloober game, each game feels better than the next. And aren't they working? I believe on the Layers of Fear. I think. I think they're also working on Layers of Fear. So it's interesting that they're working on two different games at the same time now. But
Oh, they actually did make Village of Fear. No
no,
wonder.
no,
That explains a lot.
they're going to work on the next Layers of
Oh.
Fear. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the chat could correct me.
Yeah, it did. It did. I just looked at it. I just googled it and said
Okay,
it's
okay.
Bloober Team did Layers of Fear. Yeah, you're right about that.
All right. How about you, Plume? Like, what do you think about the whole event? Anything caught your attention? Anything you're looking forward
There is
to?
one thing that caught my attention, but it doesn't have to do with any of the games.
Oh,
Is Silent Hill 2's remake being PS5 console exclusive for 12 months?
I
I
did not
think
want to say that.
I had to bring it up. I think it's the biggest thing from this event right now, on at least on the Xbox side of things. I mean, it's such impeccable timing with everything that's going on for that announcement, and it all kind of circles back to the rumors that the state of play that PlayStation had planned was pushed back or delayed because they didn't want to make any announcements for their deals, and this was one of the rumors that it was one of those deals. So that was the most disappointing thing for me. But I mean, yeah, Bloober's making it. I enjoyed the medium. I really liked like the dual like world thing that they had going on
yeah,
with that game. I thought
that
it
was
was pretty
cool.
unique. So um, but other than that, I've never really gotten into the Silent Hill series, to be honest. Like I'm not like the biggest horror game fan. I played the Resident Evil games. I just played Dead Space, the first one this year, which I absolutely love. So just haven't played them. I'm sure if I played them, I would enjoy them. But Silent Hill Townfall looks cool. It's being published by Annapurna, which they've pretty much not missed on all the games that they publish. So I feel like if they're willing to pick up a game, you know that there's some potential to it. But yeah, to me the biggest thing was the 12-month Silent
But
Hill 2 remake exclusives.
yeah, yep,
I mean,
I felt the same thing too. Yeah, but I gotta tell you something though. If Bloober needs to work on something that is on the jump scares. They need to fix that up a bit. So I hope that they actually for the Silent Hill game they got the down scares down. A little bit.
The medium wasn't scary, but it was more of like a
Yeah,
psychological thriller,
yeah, that
I would
that's
say, than
that's
anything.
that's the thing.
and Bla-
Crazy. If they're
and
not
Blair Witch.
going full horror, they don't gotta do really the jump scare.
Mm,
Now, if they make a horror game like full blown
they
horror, then
should.
then you need the jump scare.
Yeah, but they should though because Silent Hill is a full horror game. I mean, you got this guy with
then,
blink, bing,
then
pyramid
I,
head chasing at you with a machete. Not a
then
machete, but
I,
it's a
I
big sword.
I don't really know much about the franchise, but
What?
if it's a horror game, if it's a horror full horror, then they have to nail that down. Definitely, I agree with
Yeah,
you
they
there.
should. Yeah, they should because there's actually a little bit of horror in it. I mean, you got this guy with the bleak pyramid head chasing after you, with a big sword, grabs you, tears your body apart, and all that stuff. So yeah, and not only that, it's the story is just freaking freaky. I mean, the town's burned down and everything, and like all of a sudden, like alarm sounds and all that stuff, and just it changes. The
There
town changes, and you see ghosts and stuff like that.
there
Weird
you
stuff
go,
going on.
guys. You don't have to play the game anymore.
What? Yes.
Louis just spoiled.
It just spoiled the game.
Everybody has seen the movie.
I haven't seen the movie.
What? You have not seen the movie?
No.
I feel like it's a pretty niche movie, Louis.
Yeah, I mean, according to Twitter, you know, it's not niche. Like everyone was wanted this franchise. Everyone that's another thing that I'm super surprised. Like, you see, like everyone was clamoring for the Silent Hill, but I don't see how this was so big. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So
It's a very
forgive me.
like just from people I talk to, I have a lot of friends that love it. It's a really popular franchise for sure in the horror genre. I just for me, I know I'm not going to be playing it at least for who knows. They didn't give any release dates for any of this, but at least for a year for Silent Hill 2 remake, at least for a year after its initial release, with everything that's going on. So it's gonna be a while before I jump into that one.
But why not? Because it's this deal is good for gaming. Like,
Oh my god! And
What?
I leave the chat.
the deal is good for gaming. I mean, like when it's when it's this way, or when it's the other way around, it's bad for gaming. But apparently, like when the Xbox side,
well, I think more so than anything is just like I said, the timing of this announcement, how everything that's going on right now in the gaming news, and then we get this announcement, and it just puts everything into perspective. If you're somebody trying to evaluate what like all the stuff that Sony has said so far with the Activision Blizzard deal, what they're going to keep doing,
but
if there isn't a competitor out there that's willing to kind of push back against it, they're gonna these timed exclusive things. I think timed exclusivity in video games is one of the worst practices. I absolutely hate it. If Xbox does it, I hate it. Just makes no sense. You're holding a game off of a console for no reason, right? Just so other people can't experience it, and the developers just taking a bag of money for it, where they would make that money if they just put it on the console on launch, right? So it's just I don't like it, and when I see stuff like this, it kind of just turns me off from the game.
well, let's do this real quick before we jump into the main topic, which I decided to make the main topic just the October games. Let's talk a little bit about the whole update on the whole Activision Blizzard. Um, for anyone in the chat, Plume did a great video where he kind of explains a lot about the situation where Microsoft, kind of responded a lot of these concerns that the CMA had. So please go follow him. He's close to reaching 10K. So that would be pretty huge if he can make 10K before the end of the year.
Yeah, I've asked every single video, so I hope I'm not annoying anybody.
Oh no, you well deserved, man. You deserve
to reach
the
right
10K.
after the music beat, so it's good. You mellow out with the with the music beat.
I think I never seen someone work so hard. Like you put so many videos like every day. Like you put how many videos you put per day? Like 3?
Well, usually depends. Depends how crazy the day is. This week's been just so much news, so I've been wanting to get on it every single day. So
and these videos they're not easy. Like you have to prepare the information. You have to edit. Some people they don't understand, but this is it's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. So it'll be nice if you can reach the 10K. Definitely.
Yes. Well,
I appreciate that.
Yep, you gotta reach the 10K, buddy. You gotta reach the 10K. I mean, there's been a lot of news. I mean, this weekend we got a lot of telenovelas, a lot of fighting, a lot of stuff going on, man. Wow, This was a weekend full of boxing. I mean, if Mike Tyson was still out there, he would have won a couple matches there. But damn, a lot of
But
boxing this weekend.
but anyway, let me pull you back, crazy. Let me pull you back.
Right,
So,
right.
reading this CMA thing, which was like 33 pages, I believe, something
It's only
around there.
38, I think.
38 off, even more. Microsoft responded a lot of these things, and it sums up to, for me, that the CMA basically heard everything that Sony had to say, and they took it for granted. Everything that Sony said is the sole true, and they didn't even kind of gave the chance to Microsoft to respond. And then the other thing is that the article that they did, which was the statesman or the paper that they came up with, which was like 76 pages, they only mentioned Sony concerns, Sony concerns, Sony concerns,
Here it
and
is. 33 pages of love right there. Look
yeah, that's the Microsoft one. But the one that the
one.
CMA did was 76 pages, I believe.
That was crazy.
And then they mentioned Sony like 50 something times, and they mentioned consumers only like about 10 times. So at the end of the day, their main concern should be us, the consumer, and also competition as a whole, not an individual like company, not the protection of a company. Now, with this new information, with everything that's coming out, let's start with you, crazy. What do you think? Of course, it's going to stage 2. What do you think it's going to happen? Do you think the CMA will proceed, or do you think they're not? Do you think maybe they'll call it back and take a step back because of all the information that Microsoft is coming up? And if they don't, do you think the deal will just fall? Microsoft will uh, basically sue them, and we will go into court and all that. What do you think? How do you envision this deal going forward now?
We talk about this every single week. So
we do, but every week,
yeah,
it's
every week
more
there's something
information.
on the telenovela. Yeah, there's always going on in this novella and all this stuff that's been happening. And yeah, I'm gonna say something though. What can happen with this? I mean, let's give it some thought here. Let me ask you all a question. We got two sides right now going on. One side is buying another one, and the other side wanted to sell, right? Which is the truth because Bobby Kotick went to Microsoft and said, "Hey, I want to be purchased. How much would you offer me?" Microsoft said, "Okay, we're gonna offer you this much." And I've been doing a little bit of research after this whole issue started, right? I mean, like today's issue, because I mean all this paperwork came out yesterday, and I was like, let me just sit there, read a couple things so I can jump into it. 98% of the shareholders said yes to the buy, and 2% said no. Plus, Bobby Kotick said yes. So the thing I want to ask you guys, what do you think would happen if this deal drops? Do you think the relationship with Sony and Activision will still be the same? I think not. I think that whole relationship is gonna die. Because why? Of all this pushing and all this stuff these guys have been doing. Because Bobby Kotick is wanting to sell this because of everything that's been going on, and he just doesn't want to invest into this anymore. Just want to grab his cash and retire and leave this all behind. That's what I'm seeing. And the shareholders, of course, they want to sell because they don't want still Bobby Kotick to be CEO of the company, which is true because of all the issues that have been going on. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So Sony keeps on pushing this, and they keep on bragging about this. Not only that, CMA is also pushing about this, and seriously, it's not a good push. And will Microsoft come out and sue them? Hell yeah, they will sue. Because I mean, I was reading through those 32 pages, and one way says that was a waste of paper. The thing is, one way I was reading on my cell phone because my internet went out, and my eyes just got a little bit dizzy. So I was like, man, I gotta print this because I gotta read it on paper because it was just a lot of information on it. I mean, there's so much information out there about what Microsoft is just saying. Hey, I mean, you guys are saying this wrong. This is not true. You guys are doing this practice wrong and saying this is not right. And after I read a couple of things, I was like, damn, these guys are right about what they're pointing out on these guys. I mean, they're saying that they're gonna shake up Sony. And not only that, they're just protecting Sony. They're not thinking about the consumer, which is bad. And the CMA is supposed to call it down the middle, not pick sides, not pick sides. So
Yeah.
it's freaking insane on how these guys are just picking one side. And what they're not thinking is how it can affect the future. I mean, literally, you're killing Activision Blizzard right there, because if this deal goes downhill, that company's gonna go downhill too, and the relationship with Sony is not gonna be the same. Their stock are gonna go down to the drain. So why do you all want to do that? That's just, I don't get it. I don't, seriously, I just don't get why is the purpose of that. And not only that, you're facing $1 trillion company that can do a lot of damage in the end. Yeah. $1 trillion company that can say, hey, it can go to GTA 6 and say, hey, how much did it cost to develop this? Oh, it cost me $500 million. And they would be like, okay, here's $500 million. Put it on Game Pass for 2 or 3 years. You think Take-Two won't take that money?
I think they're also banking a lot on the relationships that they have built already with a lot of these studios, where they go in and maybe they get the first take on, exclusivity deals. And, maybe they believe if this deal doesn't go through, then, they still have that advantage. They have the market advantage. But then, the thing is, what happened if Microsoft takes the the popularity, basically, market win or across, across us, the consumers, because they are being more pro-consumer. They are giving us more options. The only thing that's probably missing from them, it's actually the content and the games. So I think that's the only thing missing. And if they do become, like market leaders, not necessarily on money, like on how much money they make, but more on, the consumer base, then I think a lot of these companies also that Sony tend to make these deals, they would think about it twice, because the reason why they make also these deals with Sony is because Sony, it's at the end of the day, I think, they're paying them a good amount of money to keep the games out of the competition. But they also know that, unfortunately, the competition had or has a much smaller player base. And I think they can juggle through that, and that's why, that's why I think, that's going around. But let me ask you this, Crazy, before I move to Plume, because I know Plume is like, he's ready. He got his jersey on.
He's ready. He's got that jersey on. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna tear this thing apart, man. I'm ready for this thing, baby. That's what he's like. Yeah.
If the deal doesn't go through, right? You got on Microsoft's side, they would possibly sue, and they will go back and forth with the CMA. And you have Activision Blizzard on their end. I believe they were having a lot of issues. They were having internal issues, and this might even cost them some financial issues, which, COVID also affected a lot of these companies. Mm-hmm. So how do you think this will also, how would this benefit, or how can this affect Sony in a way? Like, do you think because of this, if this affects Activision Blizzard, for example, they can be like, you know what, you screw us from this deal, so we're not doing these exclusivity deals with you anymore. Now we're gonna do them with Xbox, or what?
That's what's gonna happen, Sourblow. Because I'm gonna tell you something though. They're messing with two sides of the money. One side is trying to sell, and the other one's trying to buy. And so, what do you think? I mean, I was telling you guys this before. What do you think is gonna happen if this deal drops? I mean, how is their relationship gonna be? It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be horrible. Because I mean, Bobby Kotick and his team and the shareholders are gonna be pretty pissed off. I mean, I would be pissed off. Because me as a shareholder, with everything that was going on, right? I was losing stock. My stock was going down, right? It was just going down all the way. It was literally going down with all these issues going on. And so I find this golden opportunity. This company's willing to buy, which 98% of the shareholders said, yes, let's go through this deal. Now, if you tell me that it was 60% and 40, then I would have been like, okay, there's an issue here. But 98%, you know how much is 98% said yes? That's a lot. Yeah. I mean, literally, this goes to 100. So if they said yes, what do you think is going to happen if the deal goes down? Do you know what they're going to say about Ricardo? Hey, Bobby, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. Do not negotiate with Sony. Negotiate with Microsoft and get them to get their games on our games on Game Pass and tell Sony to say bye-bye. Either way, it's going to happen that way because they're not going to be happy because, again, they're messing up with their selling because they're going to make the money, right? And they are also messing with Microsoft's buy. And so what will Microsoft going to do next? They're going to go after all the third parties because Sony is only worried about Call of Duty. But hey, I will worry more about the third parties that are out there. And not only that, they got the money to bring them to Game Pass, and they will.
Well, yeah. And to add to that, the other competitors, when they were asked about the deal, they had no concern at all. They were actually, they actually approved the deal. Like they were.
Yes.
They were on the same page.
Everybody was happy. I mean, the boss from 2K, which really went against Game Pass and other stuff a bunch of times, they said, we don't like Game Pass and other stuff, but hey, they were really happy with the deal. Not only that, EA was really happy with the deal. Why? Because it's going to open a door opportunity for negotiations, It's going to open a whole new door for negotiations. Why? Because Sony's going to have to sit down and think, hey, let me talk to Activision, not Activision, I mean EA. They want to talk to them probably in the future. Because there are a lot of companies out there that make good shooters, And it opens a door of opportunity to all of them. But yeah, if the deal goes wrong, it's not going to be good. For Sony, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I'm gonna move on to Plume because I see he's ready there. I think he's gonna RKO me right now. He's been ready for a while.
Honestly, you guys have said like a lot, like pretty much everything. It's like when you go through these documents of the complaints that Sony is making, then you read Microsoft and Xbox's response, and you look at it from as much as you can. I mean, we're Xbox fans, but you look at it from a non-biased perspective as much as you can. The points that Sony makes, if you know anything about the gaming industry, just absolutely make no sense. And they're nonsensical if you just take 5 seconds and Google some of the stuff that they're saying. One of the great points that they made when Microsoft's response was when they talked about how strong Sony's market strength is right now. They literally raised the prices of the PS5 and they're still selling out, and they're going to continue to sell out because they've built such huge brand loyalty and such a strong marketplace for themselves throughout all of their generations, right? Like if you don't think everyone in Canada, the PS5 is $650, you don't think people are still paying $650 and are going to be running out to pay $650 once the stock comes in during Christmas and stuff, they're going to be doing that, right? So that just shows how strong they are. How many times have they raised the price of a console and people running out and buy them? It just doesn't happen. And then you think about Call of Duty right now and the deal that they had offered them till 2027. And Microsoft's response was like, that's more than enough time if they really want to be able to compete. If we do take it off of PlayStation, for them to make a competitor, which it's 100% a great response to that. They have great developers at PlayStation Studios. They have IPs that they have in their backlog they could pull out. More than enough time if they want to create something to compete with Call of Duty. It may not be on the same level, obviously, because Call of Duty is huge, but they could definitely compete with them if they really, really wanted to. And then on top of that, we hear that they've paid to block it off of Game Pass for till 2024 or something like that. So they're making complaints about stuff that isn't even imminent if this deal goes through, and they're pretty much just throwing in the towel and giving up. They're like, we're going to give up if this deal goes through because we won't be able to compete, which is just absolute a bogus argument. But I don't know. It seems like what's going on right now with the CMA stuff. Like, I don't know if this is normal or if this is something that would happen with every $70 billion acquisition. I'm assuming that it would. My faith is this deal going to go through has fallen a bit. It seems like they are gung-ho to kind of do whatever they can to really find every excuse to stop it, but we'll see. And then people are bringing up like the Meta and the Giphy acquisition that they stopped and are forcing Facebook to sell, but I don't think that's really on the same level because Facebook owns like 50% of that market and stuff. So it's just a lot of craziness, and that's why Microsoft pays all those lawyers a lot of money to draft up the responses that they did. I mean, they were quoting. They had like Twitter quotes in there. They had like Windows Central quotes in there. They had like people we see like on in the community on Twitter. Like, they had links to everything. It was a pretty well put together response from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much, like I said before, check out his video. He does a great breakdown, and it's not even a very long video, so you should definitely check it out. It's Plume Network, and let's move on to the main topics, right? Because we got some games to talk about. Um, there was actually a game that released on Xbox Game Pass and Xbox console called Scorn. It released on October 14th. And were you able to try it, Plume, or did you play the Scorn?
I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
I have not tried it yet.
Does the game catches your attention, or like
it does. It's one of those games I feel like I'm gonna need to sit back and really hard concentrate on it, because it's gonna be slow and puzzles and all that type of stuff, and
Yes.
very atmospheric. And until I can make sure that I have that time, like not holding my baby in my hands or something like that, right? Like, I have to be able to sit back, have a good time to play. That's when I'll jump into it.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people were confused when the game released because they thought they maybe just seen pictures or maybe part of trailers where,
Yeah.
of course, it's, in the trailers they show the best part with the guns and stuff, and maybe they thought, it was a faster pace and it was more like a first person shooter game, and they didn't know that this was more of a different approach, where is a atmospheric first person horror adventure game with a lot of puzzle element, and a lot of people were very disappointed because of this. Now, crazy, I know you started to play the game, and at first, you weren't kind of feeling it, but then I think you continued to play the game. What can you tell us now about your experience with Scorn?
Let me tell you something though. With Scorn, when I first played it, I played it for like an hour, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't digging into it, because it was 6 in the morning. I jumped into it, I was like, let me give this a go, and I played like in an hour. I was like, this is kind of interesting, but like the first 30 minutes, I didn't get what's going on, but then like in the next 30 minutes, like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. You got to do this. So after that, once you started solving the puzzles, man, it started getting fun. Especially, I met Little Willie. That Little Willie that comes out down in the ball, and you got to push him on the little baby coach thing. Oh, man, Little Willie was pretty cool, man. I just felt bad when we killed Little Willie, man. Oh, poor Little Willie.
You know what? Little Willie just gave you a timeout.
What?
Yeah, she just provided you a timeout. I'll bring you back briefly. Anyway, I myself, I actually jumped into the game because I do love puzzle games. I started playing it. Unfortunately, I haven't had much time with it. I played like around an hour or maybe less, and I probably haven't even past the first stage or chapters. I don't know how it's divided because I haven't gotten that far, but I was doing the first, like, I would say major puzzle, which I think it's divided by different parts because there's different things you got to do within like a much bigger plan or a much bigger puzzle, I would say. And I did a large portion of it. I just lost. Let's just say I just lost the item or the art or whatever I'm utilizing for that puzzle. It got lost and I couldn't find it. But then another game released that was a game that I really was waiting for. So that's why I kind of put it aside. But crazy, now that you're back again. Oh, actually, no, wait, you're not back. now you're back, crazy. Even though there might be a delay, you might not see it right away. But can you continue to tell us, about your scoring experience?
Oh, I just can't say the guy's name. Okay, but anyways, I actually gave him that name because he was little and he was kind of cute. But anyways, let's keep on.
You want
So,
another timeout?
oh no, I don't want another time. I'm good. I'm good. But anyways, it got better. It started to get better. It started to get more entertaining because I felt like I was in the world of Prometheus, in the world of Alien. Like the art felt like I was in Aliens. The level design, everything. It's just that game is just gorgeous. It's disgusting, but it's gorgeous. Just everything about it is awesome. It's the detail, everything. The monsters are, eh, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They're not scary. Sometimes like all of a sudden they pop out like ah, I accidentally like ran away a couple times. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game. It's a pretty fun game, and it gets more intense, and the puzzles get a little bit harder. But man, I'm loving how it goes, and I just can't wait to go back to it, sit down, and beat it because I think I'm 4 hours into it, so I probably need like 4 hours more to beat it. It's a short game, but man,
Okay.
it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Really good
I will add to it that the atmosphere of the game is amazing, and
yes.
the graphics it looks amazing. The game looks amazing, and I do think I do commend them for taking this approach. It's a different kind of game. It's not for everyone, but I do think they kind of took of a miss of not adding like more horror to the game and more like a little story also like to it. I think it could have made the game much better because they already have the feel, the atmosphere, the sounds. It's I think it was all there to be even better game. I'm not saying it's a
It's
bad game,
it's
but I think it could have been much
it's got it does not mean it's got its horror. It's got a little bit of horror, but it's more like sci-fi horror.
better. Yeah,
When you see the monster, like whoa, all of a sudden it comes out of the wall or something, because sometimes they do come out of the wall, and then you see like this little bird creature spitting at you. You got the big fat dog spitting acid at you and stuff like that, and yeah.
Is it
So huh?
is there a story to it, or is it just kind of a puzzle or kind of atmospheric?
it's just no. There's no story to it. That's something when
yeah.
I first started playing, I was like, there's no story to it. But
There's no
then
story.
Once you picked up the
Makes
pace,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah, and they
you
just
started to
they
connect the
just
dots.
you just throw you there and you got to figure everything out.
Yes, that's
Huh.
it.
Like
You
I'm
get
cool.
thrown in there.
That's why I was completely lost for a while, and then you start figuring some things out, and now I'm lost again because like
You
again
know,
I'm looking for something, I can't find it, I missed it, I misplaced it.
it, it's got elements of the Matrix too. Like it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got a couple elements of Matrix too. You got elements from Alien. You got elements from Hellraiser, with the creatures and all that stuff. What else do you have? The atmosphere is totally aliens, Prometheus, and man, I'm telling you, when you sit down and you go through it, you start getting entertained because you're like, hey, I want to solve this puzzle. What's next?
Yeah.
The puzzles are really entertaining. They're not like all boring puzzles. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, they're
hit
not
this
the
button.
typical
Mm,
basic
no,
puzzles. They're more elaborate.
I'll be
not at
honest.
all.
The fact that there's no story and I'm not, and if it's a shorter game and I don't have to sit through long cutscenes, it kind of more enticed to check it out and just jump into it.
That's a good thing. It does not have that long of cutscenes because
Yeah.
it doesn't have that much of things. Just keep going forward. Just do the puzzles and
Yeah.
super entertaining. Yeah.
Another game actually released yesterday, which honestly, I was so cut into another game that we're gonna talk right after this, but I haven't seen much after the game release. But we got Ghostbuster, which is it's a very known franchise, Ghostbuster Spirit Unleashed, which is a multiplayer game. Um, I believe it's by the guys from Elphonic, right?
Yeah.
Ilphonic.
Ilphonic, yes.
Not Elphonic.
Il
What?
The
Ilphonic,
font.
Elphonic,
Yes, Ilphonic.
Ilphonic. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I butchered the name, but anyway, it's the kind of game like four versus one kind of game. It released yesterday. Are you excited, crazy, to play the game? I know you're not excited, right?
What do you mean I'm not excited? Heck yeah, man!
No,
It's Ghostbusters. Who the hell want to go blasting ghosts, man? Ghostbusters is freaking awesome. I don't care how it comes out. It's Ghostbusters. It's always cool, man. Or be the ghost, or be the Ghostbusters. I'd rather be the Ghostbusters. Throw that trap in there, get him. Oh man. Ooh. But like when I was a kid, when I had my proton back, on my back, running around trying to zap ghosts, and Yeah, making
Yeah.
the sound
I,
effects.
I think it's kind of sad in a way that this game got caught in the middle of another big release, and in a a big month.
Hmm.
I think this might have been a perfect game to come into Game Pass because of the
Yep.
multiplayer element.
Yeah.
I know when I played, I'm not a fan of these games, but when I played Friday the 13th with you guys, I had a blast. Um, hilarious. Um, and then we played a few of those type of games, and
We gotta get Bloom on
they,
Friday the 13th one day.
they've been pretty fun. Out of all of them, to be honest, one of the ones that I have heard, kind of like, a lot of people say it's a bad game, but the one I had the most fun out of those type of game was actually Friday the 13th.
Nice. I
It's
haven't
not
played
a.
it yet.
It's not a bad game. It's not a
It,
bad
it's
game.
no,
People are.
actually, it was not a bad game to me.
No.
It's a great game to play, especially if you play with a nice group of friends. It's super
Yeah.
fun game.
I didn't say something about Friday the 13th, man. I mean, seriously. When the game came out, it was really broken. No joke. I mean, you couldn't find a match. You couldn't play. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. But when they started to fix it, it got better. And you started to meet up people. You got to fill in the lobby. I mean, I was a crazy Jason. I even flipped up. I even flipped
So,
the car in the game. Literally with Jason, I flipped the car. But it was a lot of fun. Playing as Jason is always fun. Playing as a survivor when you're trying to survive, because I'm gonna tell you something. Surviving Jason is super hard. And when you get
uh,
somebody that knows how to use him, it gets really hard. I mean,
have
me, I was a terrorist with Jason. I mean, I just ran over there, boom, and just beat everybody
he
up right
yeah
away.
he cheats and stuff. He buys
No,
stuff.
nope. That's only in
So,
that game, and I bought.
silence in the chat. Silent can say he cheats.
How,
He buys all the
I did,
DLCs that gives you buffs
no,
and
I
all
did not buy
that.
the DLCs because you cannot buy DLCs in that game. You cannot get like the Jason I have, which was the
Well,
Jason Goes to
you
Hell
did on
and
that.
beats
You
you all
did
up.
in that other game. But anyway,
Oh, I
um,
bought. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get what's his
what
name?
what what
Pinhead.
what have you heard about Ghostbusters? Like, have they had any technical issues? Is the game broken? Is the game running fine? Um, what what's going on with the game itself? Have you heard
I,
anything about it?
I'll be honest with you. I have not tried it yet. So because again, with all these releases that are coming, I mean, you got Plague's Tale,
Yeah, there's a
you
lot
just
of
So
got
much.
games.
Scorn. There's so much things, but yeah, thank you for reminding me that it did came out, and today's the 19th, right? Because I actually
Yes.
thought it was 18, no, 17 today. My days are kind of lost because days are just going by fast. But yeah, I'm glad you told me, and I'm gonna install it and I'm gonna give it a go. But I have not heard anything bad about it yet. Does anyone have? Because really,
No,
I've not heard that it's broken
I
or
haven't.
anything.
I haven't heard anything bad or good about it, to be honest.
All right.
No, but I totally forgot it was coming out too. But I remember watching the initial trailer when they first showed off, and I was pretty excited. It
Yeah.
looked really cool. But you're right. It'd be a perfect Game Pass game. I think this is one
Yes.
of those games that Xbox tried to reach out to. Plus, it's not really from like a big developer or anything, right? So they probably could have gotten a decent.
Yeah.
They probably wanted it in Game Pass because I haven't heard anything about it. I don't see anyone playing it on social media or anything like that. So
No.
it
Which
looks cool.
yeah, which is it's kind of funny because the next game, which was a major release, a Plague Tale, and I think this game didn't actually need Game Pass because it already had its first entry, which was a great game, pretty well known, and yet this game did came to Game Pass. I think we all played some of it to a certain extent. Let's start with you, Plume. Like you played around the same. You know, you got kind of like the same experience I had so far between of hours played.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to what was your first reaction playing the game, and what do you think of the game so far?
A very cinematic, very I would say Sony like in terms of the gameplay style. Beautiful, absolutely a beautiful looking game.
Yes.
The storytelling seems like it's going to be really, really good, especially even after just the first chapter, where you kind of I don't want to spoil anything, but you know what happens after the first chapter, and then um, keeps you kind of wanting to continue to push through and play through it. I'm definitely going to finish it just from my initial I don't know hour of play so far. I definitely want to continue to see what goes on. But yeah, very cool. I never played the first one. I'm told that if you didn't play the first one, the story may not be
You haven't
as
played the first
coherent.
one? You should actually jump into the first one, and I don't
Yeah,
think it's very long.
Oh
It's
man.
like what, like 10 hours maybe?
yeah, yeah. Everyone's saying I should play the first one. I
Yeah,
was
you
gonna
should
do that, or I
definitely.
may just watch like a story recap before I
No,
continue watching
you
it.
should
No,
play it,
no,
play
no,
it,
no,
play it.
no, no. Play it.
It's worth playing it.
Play it. Play it.
Definitely,
Play it.
definitely worth playing.
I'm gonna give you a little teensy wincy spoiler. Little
No,
teensy
no, no,
wincy
don't give
spoiler.
him
No,
spoiler.
no, no,
Just
no.
let him play.
I'm just gonna get to a scene. When you get to that scene where everybody you see like a whole like there was a huge war and everybody's dead, you're gonna get that shiver because it feels like you're in that zone.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, shit. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Just play it. Just play it. It's
Yeah.
just an amazing
That's what
game.
everyone says. Yeah, and I never played it. I always heard great things about the game and great things about the series, but yeah, so good from the
Yeah,
1 hour that I've seen of it.
I,
I
I
can see why people are hyped about it,
oh
about
yeah,
the series.
yeah, definitely.
Yes, it's. I mean,
Um,
I honestly, something Sourblow nagged me about it, and Christmas last year
yeah, well, I
is
was the one that
as
pushed him. I told him you
yeah,
have to play that
right.
game.
And I sat down and I played it, and literally I just wanted to come back to it. It was a game that actually brought me back, and
Yeah.
I just dude,
We,
you gotta play, you gotta
yeah,
play it. I'm gonna make you.
we kind of worked the deal because he pushed me to play Doom Eternal, which I did, and then
And
I
you did not
pushed
beat
him.
it.
I did. I beat it. What do you mean?
You did it?
Yeah, of
Oh, okay,
course,
okay, okay.
yeah. And then I pushed him to play Plague Tale. But anyway, now basically I played around the same time that Plume did, like I said, but I did play the first one. So without giving out spoilers, I would say that if you have played the first one, I like how they took the approach with this one, where you don't the way up to now you don't really have to play the first one because they do, I'm assuming they're gonna give you more pieces and more information as you move along, but they started a good way. They introduce you the characters, and then right in the first chapter they kind of give you a glimpse of you know what the story is gonna be like, what's part of the problem that's going on. Like, you don't really know exactly like everything, but you start getting some stuff, some information there about what you're gonna have to go through basically. And they show you the mechanics like all games in the beginning, but the game is gorgeous, the game is amazing. It does take a huge jump, even though the first one looks amazing too. Like, the first one, for it being kind of like a double A game, and done by, I forgot how many developers, but I know it was a very small team. It's amazing, like what they done with this game. But this game looks pretty good and crazy. I think you played a bunch more than we did, because I heard you played a few more hours. Without spoiling anything, what has been your interaction with, like, what's your thought on the game so far, and
It's just the way
what
the
can you
story
tell us?
tells, man. I mean, this the way the story tells. You gotta. I'm telling you, I mean, when I just said the ending, and now I just started getting shivers on my back, and just the whole game, everything, just the
Yeah,
detail, the stories, everything. I mean, it's such a beautiful game. I mean, you're playing the second one, and you're looking at how it looks.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
first one, dude, wow.
I think.
And I think,
Oh,
uh,
sorry, real quick. I think
uh,
one thing that they do great with this game, even the first one too, they do a great job of keeping that tension and keeping you like intrigued up to what's gonna happen next. And then like when you finally like figure that out, or you come out of that problem or issue, it's not like something comes next that makes no sense. Everything like kind of makes sense, it intertwines, but then it keeps you tense, it keeps you like,
yeah,
it's a very great game. It's a good game.
it is
I
a
love it.
fun game. It's a fun game.
How,
Anything to add?
did they improve on gameplay in Requiem? Can you tell by now? Is there
Oh,
different gameplay
I mean,
modes?
honestly, I haven't tried it yet, but at least there's more weapons because in the first one you got this little rock.
Yeah,
This one
yeah,
you got a crossbow,
Yeah,
so you probably improve on the weapon set. But I mean, that's part of the intensity of the game, of the
yeah.
first
yeah.
one. Oh man, Oof.
We're just. I wouldn't say. In the trailers, of course, we see the crossbow and stuff, but I'll say, I'll wait to move on because in the first one also, like, even though they give you like basic stuff, but as the game move on, you got like kind of like puzzles and things you gotta like
Mhm.
go through that they get more like elaborated, and you gotta think more, and you gotta combine things, and it gets. I guess that adds to kind of like the gameplay where it's you know like it's not one of these typical like fighting games, and that you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
battle your way through. It's more like you gotta use your head more and think how you can get out of the situation.
So you're saying so I'm gonna put Requiem on the back burner now, and I'm just gonna play the first one.
Yeah, play the first one, definitely. It's worth it.
Convince
Definitely.
me.
Oh man,
Just well,
if I got convinced to it, man, you gotta play it. It's such a fun game, man. I'm telling you, such a fun game. You won't miss out on it. Trust me. You'll be like,
I'll tell you this. It's a great story from the beginning to the end.
mm-hmm.
It has great gameplay. It will keep you like intrigued through the whole game, and it only keeps escalating. And then the ending I thought was a great ending. There's actually kind of like a boss fight at the end. Spoiler, sorry. But
there's always a boss fight at the end. What do you mean? That's not a spoiler.
so some games don't, but I don't know.
It's not.
I think you should definitely give it a try. At
Okay.
least play, you know, a few hours.
You know,
If it's not your game, then unfortunately,
Yeah.
you can let it go.
because
But
here's
definitely
the thing.
recommend it.
It's about the time when the plague was out, right? You got the rats running around, all that crazy stuff, and just the intensity and the atmosphere, everything, and the detail.
Here,
It just feels
I'll sell it to you. I'll sell it to you,
yeah.
and this will make you play. If someone like me, that's kind of like the boring type, and then you have the crazy type, uh, and when we both agree that the game is great, maybe the game has something kind of special.
Yeah, definitely. Two different personalities agree on the same
Yeah,
thing.
two completely different personalities. We're like the
Man,
yin yangs.
I gotta tell you something. Again, December sat down here and I just played and played and played and played and played.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that game
Yeah,
was just.
yeah.
It's a
And then
10-hour experience is like perfect for this style of game too.
yeah,
Run through it.
yeah,
I did not let
yeah.
go of it. It's one of
I,
those games where I sat down and not let go. It's like me while I play Cyberpunk. I literally played 7 hours straight. That's how that game, got me into it. And when I was playing Plague Tale, I was just every time I got the chance to play it, I sat down and played it.
Yeah.
And I just sit there and played hours and hours and hours. Such a fun game. And again, that ending, man. Wow. Oh, literally, you gotta play that game. I'm telling you.
okay.
Freaking oof.
I'm
And that
actually
field.
for the next
It
game.
was it
I'm
was
actually gonna skip a few games to maybe come back, because I'm gonna tie it into this game somehow. But we have had some FPS talks, some frames per second,
Yes.
and this game for consoles is running at 30 FPS,
oh,
and I believe in there's a version that runs around 40 FPS, but then you have another game which a lot of people are excited about, but now with the SPS news that it's also running at 30, people are not excited. We got on October 21st, we got Gotham Knights releasing, which if you know, it's a game in the Batman universe. It's gonna be a co-op game, and First, before we talk FPS, tell me, Lou, like, are you excited for this game? Are you gonna play this game? Is this a day one purchase, or are you not? So, what do you think about the game? Tell
I
me,
think about the
Joker.
game. The Joker's not gonna be in it, so I'm not happy about it.
You don't
No,
know.
I'm
Maybe,
just,
maybe,
I'm
maybe he
just, I'm
might
just
be
kidding.
there.
Of course, I'm psyched about it. I mean, it's one of the best.
You had me for a
Batman's
second there.
No, it's one of the
Yeah.
best Batman comic books out there. I mean, it's not a joke. It's the Court of Owls. You want to miss out on the Court of Owls? I don't care if it's in 30 FPS. I don't care if it's 20 FPS. I don't care if it's 10, 5, 1. I don't give a crap
Okay.
about that. I just want to
Now
sit
you're
there and play that game, man.
now you're
Woo!
BSing. 5-1 FPS.
Wait, does that exist though? 5 and 1 FPS? Does that exist? Or 8 bit?
Well, it does, but you know, you gotta
Oh,
have a
okay.
real potato to run it that way.
You gotta have a real potato. Oh, because again, it's Sirius's fault. Yep, guys, Sirius's fault. I'm telling you, the Sirius is causing all these
Oh, that
failures right now. It's causing all these consoles to uphold our generation. All of the developers have come out and said Sirius has this bottleneck. It's a potato and all this stuff. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna throw out my series after the podcast. I'm gonna throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, but yeah, me too. I'm gonna throw mine in. Oh, I don't have one.
Don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah. I don't have one.
but anyway, like crazy. Like what's excite you the most about the game? Like
Oh man, you get to choose between 4 characters. You also get armor upgrades, which is fantastic. I mean, that's something pretty cool. And I always said about the Batman universe, like I wish I could go and switch gears. Switch Batman to different gears because Batman's all about the gadgets and all about the costumes and all about that stuff. But they kept it, with the Batman game and the other ones, the Arkham series. They kept it with Batman just using the same armor. But I wish it had that option that I could go into the Batcave and gear up and suit up because those gear ups are epic. When you play those Batman games, you see Batman gear up. Especially the
Yeah.
last one, that was freaking awesome. The
yeah,
the, the, the Max suit, whatever it's called, that was freaking awesome. And so I'm happy that these guys got new gear, and you get to choose between 4 different characters. One thing I don't like as much is the Red Hood because I rather have Red Hood how he is, not this big old Red Hood. I never seen Red Hood look like a bulldozer. But has he been a bulldozer in the comic though, Sour? Because you're a big Batman fan.
there have been different type of. But I
Really?
know,
Because
but what I don't really dig about this Red Hood is that jump he has, like that gliding, like that thing he like.
that
Yeah, I
that
don't.
was something I did not
Yeah,
get, but
I do not like that.
okay, like the afterlife jump. I was like, yeah, all right, but I'll take
Yeah,
it.
that was
And
kind of
the
weird.
and the rubber bullets. Oh, okay, I'll take that too. But yeah, the game though, I'm pretty excited about it because again, you got all these cool new stuff, new gadgets, and it's the Court of Owls, one of the best comics in Batman out there.
Well,
That's one of the best ones, Sourblow.
it
And
is. But
and but we gotta be honest though. We need a peacemaker game. Yes, that we need one.
okay, let's talk about real games. Plume, what about you? Like, are you excited for Gotham
Yeah,
Knights?
I'm excited for it. I'm one of the people that when they first showed off the gameplay and the trailers, I was one of the people who was on the side of thinking that it looked good, looked like fun. You're playing as all these different characters, open world. It's in the Arkham series, right? Like
Yeah,
we've played the Batman Arkham series, and those have been amazing. So I don't see how this one's going to be that much worse than the Arkham games. In fact, it probably could be better depending on the upgrades and the RPG elements to all that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I'm going to be playing it day one most likely, or at least in the first week. The FPS stuff, if you guys want to get into that, but yeah, that's been an interesting topic throughout this week that people have been going back and forth on nonstop on social media.
yes.
And here
Yeah,
we
what is your
go.
take on the FPS? Does that make it less appealing to you, or
So I'll be honest. So when they announced 30 FPS, I was somewhat disappointed because I feel like in this generation of consoles, a lot of the games that we've been getting have had that performance toggle. I feel like as a developer right now, you're looking at that, even if that means dropping like the resolution down to 1080p or something on the Xbox Series X, just giving people that option to choose if they want to have more of a performance mode or a graphical mode, is something that should be in all games. They announced 30 FPS, but they also announced 4K ray tracing. So that's something that we're not seeing in every game as well, which is like the
Yes.
4K ray tracing. We talked about Plague's Tale, right? It's no one complained about a Plague's Tale being in 30 FPS in 1440p without ray tracing, but everyone's complaining about 30 FPS in Gotham Knights with 4K and with ray tracing. So like the arguments and the complaints don't really add up. But I got over that. And at 30 FPS, I think about it. Like I've played the Arkham games at 30 FPS. They were fine. I had a great time. I'm sure it's going to be completely fine in 30 FPS with Gotham Knights. The one thing that I guess is also disappointing is the price of Gotham Knights on console compared to PC, where PC has all the optimizations. You can get it at 60 FPS, but they're charging $10 more on console. But that's the extent of it. That's the extent of it. Everyone's complaining about the game. It hasn't come out yet. It could be an incredible game, incredible story, have great gameplay. We're seeing people put out videos where they're like pretending like the game, showing the game in 30 FPS when it's like in 5 FPS, trying to like destroy it. But yeah, I don't know. It's, to me, the thing that got me was the fact that everyone complained about Gotham Knights at 30 FPS, and then nobody said anything about Plague's Tale Requiem. Which
was on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's the question I have. Does Game Pass offset people's opinions on this stuff?
I think it doesn't necessarily in this situation has to do with that, and this is the reason why. I think they're two different type of games, because Plague's Tale doesn't really need the 60 FPS. It's more of a cinematic game. As of Gotham Knight, you do kind of need more, more action. You do more button smash and all that, and it's gonna feel, you're gonna feel it more, the difference when you don't have the 60
and that's something like, do I want games at 60 FPS? Yes. Do I want the toggle? Yes. But if people are going to complain about and be upset about 30 frames per second, I feel like it has to be consistent, even with that argument, especially when you look at a Plague's Tale, the fact that it is 1440p and not 4K.
And not 4K, yes.
And nobody said anything about that. They just continued to complain about Gotham Knight. So for me, I feel like I'm a logical person. And to me, that was a logic breaker for me, for a lot of people with their arguments with the cinematic thing. I mean, we played the medium in 30 FPS. It's a very cinematic game. I thought it was great in 30 FPS. I had no issues with it. I played Plague's Tale Requiem for about an hour or so in 30 FPS. No issues with it. Will I have issues with Gotham Knights? I don't know. I'll see when I play it. But at least I'm getting 4K ray tracing with that 30 FPS.
But wasn't Arkham Knight, though, the Batman Arkham Knight, wasn't it 30 FPS though?
Yes, it was 30.
So,
but it's an older game, Now is that these consoles you expect 60. You didn't expect 60 back then.
Sourblow, let's be honest though. In Arkham Knight, you drive the Batmobile around, you shoot things around, you beat up people around, and the 30 FPS, it was beautiful.
I disagree with that. I mean, the game is a great game, but you do feel the 30 FPS. Like I felt it because I was used to playing on PC, so you definitely feel it. But something that I want to add about the whole Gotham Knight situation, and I haven't seen a lot of people bring it up. Besides the pandemic, which we always bring it up because of the development, but I think also that studio was going or is going through another situation that it might have influence on on their work, and that's I don't want to bring excuses, but we do know the Warner Brother and all their situation with they're possibly selling. There was a moment where they actually delayed all their games, and it was rumored that they were holding those games back because they didn't know if they were going to deal them or what they were going to do. There was going to be purchase, so maybe this could also have affected at the end their chances of making the game that they finally wanted to make. And at the end of the day, the companies, they want the money and they have a time frame, and probably the time frame came and they're like, you better wrap this game up the way it is.
So here's the thing though, is it going to be good? Yes, it will be good. So
Yeah,
guys,
I think it will be good.
it's gonna be
I
an
think it
amazing
has a
game. I'm
chance
telling you.
to be a good
Yeah,
game.
and if they put Peacemaker in there, it's gonna be a lot better.
All right. Well,
The the other thing with 30 FPS that I was thinking about the other day is that when you play a game in 30 FPS or in 60 FPS, then you switch to 30 FPS. If it's the same game, it's like completely jarring. When you started in 30 FPS and you play through the entire experience, it may not be as bad. Like even when you're playing through a Plague's Tale Requiem, right? Like you're not. If you switch it to 60 FPS, you probably wouldn't be able to go back to 30 FPS. But if you
yeah.
started in 30, maybe it won't be a big of a fact as everyone thinks it's going to be.
But here's what I think, though. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about this. Since the whole issue with the pandemic and everything that's been going on, probably these guys are still trying to get around to it. So I will start the whole 30 FPS complaint after the between the third and fourth year. They still don't get the games, so it has to be there because I'm telling you, if these guys start developing the games, let's say in 2019 or 2018, they're still working with the old tech and they're trying to bring the new and they're still trying to get the new
Yeah,
tech out there.
there's
Yeah.
definitely there's a lot of things involved.
There's a lot of
Uh,
things that have been going on. But yeah, like I
yeah.
said, beyond 2024, if they're still with the 30 FPS, then yes, we got a right to complain. We got a right to rant. And we got a right to say, hey, you guys are charging $70 and it's not fair. You're charging us $70 and giving us 30 FPS. Totally agree right there.
Well, quickly, I'm gonna call some of these other titles, and then I'm gonna end it with the last title that I kind of want to take a small take on that. We got on October 20, we had the new tales, or we have the new tales from Borderland coming out. We got Persona
Okay.
5 Royale also coming out October 20, and that one's coming to Game Pass. We got Mario and Rabbit Sparks of Hope, and that one
Best game out there.
also coming on October 20. On October 28th, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm sure we're going to talk about that, on later episodes. And we got Bayonetta 3, which comes out also on October 28th. You guys know, it's a well-known game in the franchise, and it's a pretty hot topic.
Woo.
Um, because of some videos on Twitter that the voice actors of the actual main protagonist of the game. She made a video in which she claimed that she was only being offered $4,000 to basically to play the role, in which she thought it was kind of disrespectful for her. And later on, she kept doing some videos. She basically wanted to boycott the whole game as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Then we
Yeah.
had Kamiya responded, which I don't think he responded the best way in some of his comments, but he had some things to say. And then recently we had a Bloomberg report, which I think Crazy read. He knows a little bit more about it, and I think
Yes.
I don't know if Plume read it. I haven't
Yeah.
finished it really, but from what I have read, it seems that there's a possibility that she might have been lying. Now, before we make our takes, this has nothing to do with anything like attacking any role, like voice
Right.
actors. We actually had a voice actor in the show, and this has
Yes.
nothing to do with gender either. We had plenty of females and males guests in the podcast. This is more about the individual action, and I guess there's two scenarios,
So,
which is the one where she is right or
I'm,
she could be wrong. Now, do you have more to add from the information of the
yeah.
Bloomberg report? Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm gonna tell you something that it doesn't matter if it's gender or anything, but there's always two sides of the story, and both
Yes,
sides did wrong. Both
that
sides did wrong.
that's what I want to
I mean,
focus
I,
on.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When the lady came out and she mentioned what she mentioned, okay, I watched the video several times again and again. I was saying, you know, okay, if you did not like that they offered you 4 grand and you said it, all you gotta do is turn it down and say, hey, I don't want it. But to go out there and just boycott the game, you know, just because of money they offered you. Okay, you know, I was kind of like,
Well,
you know,
from
but
from
but
from what I
then
oh
but then
sorry, go ahead.
but then when you get the whole, what's his name, platinum guy's name, I forgot,
Mia.
Camilla.
Camilla. When you get Camilla out there and he started telling everybody, hey, you are all insects.
Yeah,
I
that I
said,
think that was
I
the
said,
word that was
that
not
was a lot
appropriate.
worse. There's a lot more ways to address this. I mean, you should have come out and said, "Hey, we're gonna get into it, and if she felt offended, we apologize. We do not want to, we do not want to feel people with the profession to make them feel less or anything. But this is not what we offered. We offered $4,000 for each session." And she was gonna do each 1 hour session. She was gonna do four. We were gonna pay him $4,000. She was gonna make a total of 15. I mean, just by saying that in a more polite way, it makes it a lot better, on their side of things.
Yes.
And when this article came out and they asked her about it, she's like, I just want to move forward. And like I said, I understand her point, and she's not wrong though. She has a right to go out there and say, hey, they offer me this much, but just by you, like,
I don't think she did that was the right way either.
no, I'm not saying the way she did it was not right, but she felt like she felt like she could get more, but not but the boycotting thing, because it's not Camilla the only guy that's on there. There's a whole bunch of developers behind that game that do actually deserve it, and they're not part of this, this whole fight that's been going on. And yeah, don't do that to those guys, because they actually did put all the work in there. Now Camilla on the other side, who went on the rant, he deserves like a little kick, because you can't go out there and diss your fans, or pick a fight with your fans. This is wrong.
Well, Plume, do you have any more like
Yeah.
information or anything that you want to?
So I don't know if I have any more information, but like I love Bayonetta. I played the first two games. Really excited for Bayonetta 3. So when this came out, I'll be honest, I was still gonna play it. I don't know if anyone's upset about that. I was still gonna pick up and play
Shame.
it. But yeah, when it came out, I was like, okay, you think about Platinum, you think about all the weird stuff they have done in the past with like Scalebound, with like their wonderful 101 promotion where they started a Kickstarter, and then they pulled the Kickstarter and said like this was just for promotion. You think about Babylon's Fall, how like a debacle that game was, where the game when it came out, it was nothing like they originally showed off, and they have to cancel the game, and they now shutting down the servers because it completely failed. It's just been to me, Platinum's a studio that's like they either hit really hard and they put out the amazing games, or they just completely bomb, and they do weird stuff has come out about them. But yeah, she put out her video. I was like, this is terrible. And then you have the response from Bloomberg where they were saying that they were offering $3,000 to $4,000 for 5 sessions. Then you have like the current voice actor who is, I guess, kind of confirming it by liking the tweets on that. So hard to say who's lying. I guess you got to choose if you believe the voice actor or you believe the big corporation, the big company. At the end of the day, telling everyone to boycott a game that like there's so many people working their butts off on it to put out, I think is a pretty bad way to go about it. I mean, you could have made your point, and then after the Bloomberg article comes out, if you want to prove that you're fully telling the truth, maybe show there must be some sort of like contract or something that she had that she could have shown off. But I don't know. It's a really weirdly weird situation. From taking the sides of both stories, $3,000 to $4,000 per session makes a lot more sense to me than $4,000 for the entire thing. I don't know what Platinum would have had to gain by offering somebody such a low offer. Doesn't make any. They could have just said, "Hey, we don't want to work with you anymore," and go and hire somebody else if they didn't want it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and
You would have just declined the offer and just move on. Because if you here's the thing though, if you felt insulted by it, you feel bad. Just say, okay,
yeah,
it's cool. I'll
just
just move
move
on.
on.
If you guys can pay me this much, then I'm out.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the report says that the $4,000 were actually offered to her for one session after they already had
5 sessions, I think, that they
yeah
offered it.
but
then she responds and says it's an absolute lie, and then doesn't. I mean, I don't know. You could, if she has some sort of evidence, like a contract, just post the contract, and then
okay,
we know, right? Yeah.
Cause I also heard that she was offered the first sessions, right, and she declined. But then
Yeah.
after they already hired the new voice actress, they wanted her to do like a cameo, and they offer her also that was when they offer her a total of 4,000, which that's she also declined that apparently.
Yeah,
That's
she had asked
yeah.
for like a six-figure salary. They said in the
Oh
article, which we
yeah,
don't know if that's true or not either, though.
yeah,
So
and royalty supposedly. Yeah,
Yeah,
plus.
but to go out there and just say what you said, that's
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it's tough.
yeah,
especially all those people that work behind the game, you know.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's so many people that work on these games, and if you
Yeah,
boycott it for something that hasn't been proven, like it's just at this point hearsay, right? Because it's her word against Platinum. There's a lot of people that are going to be affected by that. So
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. It's bad that she chose to. I think she did wrong on trying to boycott the game,
mhm.
because at the end of the day, a lot of people have put their work on this game, and this is a game that it was created by many developers, many writers, many artists work on these games, and it's not their fault if if this is true, that they didn't
Yeah.
offer you the proper money, and then Kamiya didn't uh approach his fans the right way, I
Yeah.
guess.
The one thing I need to add to the Kamiya thing is that
Yeah.
he's just an absolute clown on social media. He does stuff all the time. I think he's called his fans insects multiple times throughout the years. Like you could type it in. He does it all the time. It's kind of like his kind of his how you're I don't know. It's like the way he acts. It's just like it's stupid, but like it's kind of like his role that he plays on social media. He
Yeah.
just what he does.
So
I don't think it's right, but like yeah.
something I see in the chat, it says nothing wrong with royalty. I think I read something I want to add to that. I think I read something that said that the actors I think there's a what you call it, actors, voice actor, when they get, or how you call it, when they get together to
Like a
active
strike, you mean?
no,
Like a
Activision
strike?
Blizzard
Union?
just union,
Union?
yes,
Union,
the
union,
voice
union.
actor union, supposedly they agreed on not to take royalties, but what they do get is bonuses per like sessions. So I think royalties are kind of out of the questions unless they negotiate some way. But maybe I'm wrong. I think I read something like that, but maybe I'm wrong. But
Yeah,
yes,
there's a whole the
yeah,
other thing that this brings up at the end of the day is are the voice actors severely underpaid, and maybe this will bring more light to that and
yes,
maybe change that situation. So
Yeah, that's the actual situation that she should have addressed, you know, instead of
yeah.
boycotting
yes,
the game.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe yeah. She made
Yeah,
it. It's personal to her, of course, but like there's definitely a better approach she could have done to kind of stand up for
yeah.
all the voice actors in the industry.
Yeah, because she only like only went out for herself instead of saying all of us voice actors go through a lot with the stuff. I mean, look at me. I was offered for a grant for each session, and
Yeah,
she should have just been honest about it, instead of saying like, hey, I only got paid 4 grand, boycott the game, give it to charity, and wow.
yeah.
Not only
It
that, not only that, that actually puts you out. Like people see you out there and be like, I'm afraid to work with you. It's gonna be,
yeah. That's
it got
it's really gonna hurt her now.
10
it's
million
really gonna hurt
views
her.
right away on Twitter, and then you had a bunch
Yeah.
of big influencer YouTubers making videos, and then having to go make a new video after the Bloomberg video article
Yes,
came out.
Yes.
yes. That's why,
Yes.
guys, you can't jump on everything right
Yeah,
away.
not right away.
But anyway, I think this is the episode. We had enough ranting about the CMA, the whole voice actors, Bloomberg report, which we don't know. At the end of the day, only they know what's right, what's real, what's not real, what's fake.
That's
Yeah,
it. You're just choosing a side, and you don't
yeah,
know what the truth is at the end of the day.
yes. But been a pleasure, Captain Lou. Can you land the plane?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about my landing gear. Hold up. Give me a second, guys.
This plane crashed already like 3 or 4 times, so I don't even think you need the gear, but
I don't think I need the gear. Of course I need the gear, man. If not, it's gonna be the Captain Gear. Here we go. Let's go. Where is it? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of the Xbox International, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard again next Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. Now, it's time for our outro! Boom! Brother, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Really, on this awesome show we had this week. Even though at the beginning we had technical issues, I think I still have some technical issues to check out and fix because I think I still have like a little teensy weensy echo on my microphone. I gotta check out what's going on with that. That's weird though, but yeah, boom. Please tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me Plume Network on YouTube, Plume Network on Twitter, Plume Network on Facebook, Plume Network everywhere. I'm pretty sure. It used to be called the Big Plume, but now it's Plume Network. I'm pretty sure everywhere. So yeah, just type it in. I'll pop up. Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me on here.
Oh, pleasure, man. And
yeah,
please help him reach that 10K, man. We gotta get you to 10K.
Yeah, Sourblow, the man who thinks that the Boston Celtics will win this year, which they will not. Of course, we know they will not, and we bet it's not going to win because if they do win, he's just not going to shut up about it. But anyway, Sourblow, please tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
All right. Well, you can find me in many places. This place included, this channel included, every Wednesday, of course, at 7 p.m. But if you want to find me on Twitter, it's Sourblow18, Xbox Sourblow18. I also have a YouTube channel, Sourblow18. That's mostly where I interact and upload my crazy, like, I'll say trailers and so on. And I also got a new channel. It's based on wrestling, wrestling video game when it comes out, when it does come out, and my wrestling takes on AEW for now. Maybe I'll add some other stuff there, but it's role play wrestling on YouTube. I also got a Twitter handle for that, and there's more stuff coming. So if you're a wrestling fan, especially AEW, you're gonna want to subscribe there, and get in contact with me if you plan on getting the video game, because I'm doing something pretty cool that I think you're gonna enjoy if you like AEW. So yeah. How about you,
awesome,
Crazy?
my brother Sourblow, me, simple and easy. But before, guys, I want to shout out to this amazing chat for hanging out with us tonight, even though we had the first 15 minutes of technical issues. But no worries, we're going to get our screwdrivers in there and fix this problem. Yes, we will. But guys, thank you again for joining us and having fun on this episode. You guys kept that chat rocking and rolling. Where can you find the crazy one? Really simple, really easy. You can find me at Twitter at the Crazy Louie Gaming, where I do all my good morning videos and I do all sorts of crazy stuff, shower videos, and all that kind of stuff. And also, guys, you can find me on Mondays at 12 p.m. at Xbox Lunch Break Special with Mr. Boom, Fuzzy Belvedere, and Mr. Web Dave. Oh man, and last but not least, here on Wednesdays wait, I was about to say Crazy Louie again, but yes, at the Xbox International Podcast channel with my brothers Sourblow and Silent Cypher, like we do each and every single week, talk about all the gaming news and what's going around at 7 p.m. ET.
You forgot. So, yeah. You forgot one more place where they can find you.
Where can they find me though?
In Gotham.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about Gotham though. Yeah. But hey, Next week we're gonna have fun. We got a new costume coming in next week, huh? It's the last time I can dress up because it's October. But yeah, guys, we got one more costume to go. So join us so you can have a good laugh with us. Well, guys, like I always say, remember. Let's go. Let's rock and let's get crazy. Yes. See you all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.